Okay, welcome to another episode here. We have today a very special guest for our podcast. We are talking to 21-year-old Emirati student Hamdan. Welcome, Hamdan, for our podcast. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to this podcast. I'm kind of excited to be on this podcast today so we can talk about cultures and third cultures.
Perfect. So we're diving in. You are a third culture kid. Well, adult, really. What tell us about your culture? What makes you a third culture kid?
Well, for starters, my main two cultures is Emirati and Yemen, which is fairly two similar cultures. There's a lot of things, like majority of things are very similar, and it's only about the small details that is like different about things. Like considering that how we celebrate things, how we have like some events throughout the year, some stuff like that. It's fairly very similar, and the way we celebrate those things. And the third one is the one that is a bit different, which is when I moved in Germany,
Okay,
which was
so before we move on to Germany, so let's give our listeners the opportunity again. Your mom is Yemeni and your dad is Emirati. Um, just to clarify as well, I know we're talking about culture, and you said there are a lot of similarities. What are the three main similarities between these two cultures? For those who are not familiar with either of them.
yeah, like the way we celebrate. For example, we celebrate Eid the exact same way. We're like gather in the grandparents' house, the same way we like celebrate weddings. It's oddly fairly similar, and it's like these things that you kind of see when I go to the first culture, and then when I have to celebrate something else on the second culture, it's like fairly similar. There's not much of difference where like a lot of people will notice like, okay, this is different and that's different.
Just to clarify as well for our listeners, religion plays an important role. So I do assume that both mom and dad are also from the Muslim faith. Is that correct?
Yes, both of my parents are Muslim, which is also, like you said, it's something that really affects, because considering like both of my parents are Muslim, so both sides of the family celebrates Eid, celebrates. I forgot the name of it.
Like the special
We
days
have
in the
this.
same way.
Yes, yeah, and also there's a lot of things that culture celebrates about this Islamic faith, Islamic events, which like for Ramadan, for example, before Ramadan, one day we have this day where all the family gathers together, and we have like this some sort of a picnic, and we sit all together, talk to each other. It's like the way we celebrate or we kind of accept Ramadan that it's coming. And it's also something in both cultures, which I have,
Interesting. Is your mom's extended family? Are they? Do you have a lot of members here in the UAE, or growing up?
Yeah, actually, no. Growing up, I had like one uncle, and the rest lived in Yemen. So I kind of grew up more to my father's side of the family.
Okay. So one of the main, I'm also a third culture kid, and I find this question so difficult to answer when people say, "Where are you from?" So, or the question, "Oh, so how do you feel more inclined? Which country do you feel more inclined to?" Can you answer that question? Is it easier for you
Like,
to answer that?
if somebody told me, "Oh, where
Where are
are you
you
from?
from?
What's your culture?" Yeah, growing up, I didn't know how to answer. I would just answer by saying what culture. Like if somebody asked me, I'd be like, "Oh, Emirati." That's it.
Yeah.
But then when I grow up and kind of kind of had the idea of what is cultures, what is like having two different cultures, what are the benefits of having two different cultures. So I started going, and when somebody asked me, I'll be like, okay, I'm half Emirati, Yemen.
Okay.
And some people find it curious, like, oh, what is it like? What is the difference between them? Even like people who don't have much idea of Middle Eastern culture,
Yeah.
they're the one like mostly asking, oh, what's the difference between the two?
Well, we will have a lot of listeners, hopefully, that would be more interested in the differences as well. They might not be quite familiar. So tell us, the Yemeni language, is it very different from the Emirati?
Yes, there's parts. There is there's parts of like when you see Yemen, there's like certain different accents. Well, in Yemen they speak Arabic, so
Yeah.
but it's like the different accents.
The
So
dialects are
where
different.
yeah, so where my mom's from, it's fairly similar. However, there's like some words which is different, and in my case, which I never really got into the Yemen side of my family, I don't really know much about their accent.
Okay, I see. Because I mean, to give background as well, you've grown up in the Emirates in Dubai, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, you are from the UAE, and right now you are doing an amazing thing by studying in Germany. So here's some background for our listeners. Hamdan is a 21-year-old established young man who studies, was it cybersecurity engineering?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Cybersecurity, mechanical
oh,
engineering.
I'm
Perfect.
sorry, yeah, cybersecurity and mechanical engineering as a double major at Hamburg University. And you're in your year 4. How does this work? Like, when you went to Germany, what, I'm sure, I mean, you went through culture shock.
Yes.
What was one of the
Uh,
biggest wow moments for you? Like, wow, this is so strange. Something where you couldn't just understand.
German people, like, I'm not saying they're not the friendliest people. However, they're like, they're really not communicative enough. Like when I first went to the campus, when I walked around, the difference is like in the UAE, you will have a lot of students coming to you. Oh, you're new. How are you? Like this or like that. Or and they kind of start the friendship on the spot. In Germany, no. Everybody's like quiet. Everybody focusing on their own business, minding their own business, walking on their way. So it's like literally like the first thing I noticed about it. And also, there's a lot of things that it's different. Like maybe one of the most thing how in Germany, when it's like comes to near or after 8 p.m., everything closed.
Yeah.
Like supermarket, yeah. So when I first moved in, I was not ready for that.
No. Did you get used to Sundays having everything closed? Not even just 8 p.m., but like Sunday all day, everything is closed? Do you live in a place like
Yeah.
that?
Yes, actually, because I moved from the big city and I kind of went to the countryside a bit because it's a bit quieter for me. And everything on Sunday, like fully closed. You're talking about supermarkets, you're talking about shopping centers, like even restaurants when they open, it's just till a certain time. Mostly like 5 p.m. at max 6 p.m. and everything is closed. So if you have something you want to buy or something, you need to go before it.
That's definitely the case. It's something that is still, I find it beautiful on one hand, which gives family time, but it's also quite different from other parts of the world. Let me ask you one thing. I mean, you went to Germany, you've been there for 4 years now. You obviously adapted. You're studying in German as well, which is incredibly difficult because German is I think it's one of the most difficult languages to really master with all the articles and this and that. Um, how did you learn German? How would you evaluate it out of 10? Giving yourself a grade, 10 being like, wow, amazing. What grade would you give to yourself in your German?
I will give it a solid 7. Like, there's a lot of new things I can
Mm-hmm.
improve. Because until now, although I spent 4 years studying German, it's still very complicated. Like, there's a lot of things that even Germans, like, they keep mixing up. So I'll give myself.
Definitely. So here's a question then. Do you think there's a shift in your personality depending on which language you speak to? Like
Yeah,
amongst your friends, and think about it. Like when you speak German, do you think there's a change in the way you are interacting with people?
actually, yes, a little bit. Because the German language, the German dialogue, is actually something like it's pretty direct, pretty straightforward. Like, even
It's
the
very
sentences, it's
direct.
like, yes, it's very direct. Like, if you want to ask for something, the sentence itself, it's going to be exactly about the thing you asked, nothing else.
Yeah. Are you able to be like that?
Yes, I mean, like, I try as much to not switch my culture when I'm speaking in German because for a lot of people here, they don't know about Middle Eastern culture or they even have the wrong idea about our culture. So I'm kind of representing for people who doesn't know me. They even if people know me, when I do stuff, when I do things, when I talk to them, when I show them things, they won't just say, okay, this person. They're gonna say, okay, this culture.
Do you?
And it's actually happened a lot where people like don't really have much of idea or even like have a really bad idea about a certain culture. And when they meet the person from that culture, they can have like a 180-degree change of the idea of that culture.
So, I mean, did you ever, or I'm sure you have lots of stories. Can you give us an example where people had bias, maybe towards the Arab culture or the Middle East or even maybe, the UAE?
Yeah, actually, I had one with a professor. Actually,
Okay.
he had this idea of like he thought the culture he sees on Hollywood movies is actually what happens to us. Like he
Okay.
still ride camels and live in tin. So I was like, no, we really don't. And he was like, what do you mean? But we see on TV. I was like, not really. I mean, like if you're talking hundreds of years ago, yes, maybe you're correct. But I mean, like people change, times change. There was a lot of things that comes different with time, not just in the Arabic culture or the Middle Eastern culture, around the entirety of like the world. People needs to move on from time to time. Like for us, yes, you are correct about living in sand, living on campus, but times has changed. We built colleges, we start learning, learning became something mandatory. There's a lot of colleges, people actually learn engineering and stuff. So it was like some sort of a mind blowing to him that, oh, there's actually the idea he had was very, very wrong about the Arabic culture. And it's actually like the stereotypes are funny, honestly. Like one of them would be like, oh, you still live in Camel, and the other one would be like, okay, you're filthy rich, which is I found it absolutely hilarious.
Well, yes, I think a lot of people think that come to Dubai, Habibi, that whole idea that everyone is very rich and lives very luxurious.
Yeah.
What's one of the things that you would give as an advice to young Emirati students like yourself going to Germany? How can they prepare themselves better for the cultural differences?
Honestly, first thing is like, don't be shy about your culture. Don't be shy to tell people where you are from. A lot of people think that, okay, if I tell them I'm this from that certain part of the world, they're gonna think, oh, you're this, you're that. They're gonna have arguments, which is really not. There's a lot of people who's actually curious to understand, to meet people, to actually find people from different cultures. And to be honest, like, be confident, be yourself, kind of represent, because when you meet people from different cultures, you're not just representing yourself, you're representing your whole culture. Yeah, so my advice to them would be like, represent your culture, do the things that you learn that is the right things, do as you learn throughout the years about your culture.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Hamdan. It's wonderful to have had you here. I wish you all the best in your studies.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Bye bye.